tried my best to represent the different cell walls because they have a lot going on. So this yellow right here, that is representing their cell wall composed of peptidoglycan. And the cell wall in this is very rigid compared to human cells, which are not as rigid. This gray is our plasma membrane. So the plasma membrane is kind of like the cell membrane inside of a human cell. It really just acts as a selective barrier, just helping what's going in and outside of the cell. So this green is representing plasmid DNA, and plasmid DNA can replicate independently off of the main chromosome, which I think is important to note that when we look at the DNA of a human cell, it is not replicating itself through chromosomes. Usually it has to go through mitosis or meiosis to be able to replicate. So next up is our cytoplasm, which is white. Like I said previously, cytoplasm will help keep the organelles within the cell in their places. It helps protect them. Next up is our brown. So the brown, I was trying to show unwound DNA because it's basically just a chunk of unwound DNA, since there is no nucleus inside of the E. coli cell. The DNA is free floating. And then these little orange things, they are ribosomes, and as we know, ribosomes are just balls of protein. And then next, these little black things that I have hanging off of it, these are representing pila, and pila are basically like hair-like structures which can help with adhesion to other host cells. And then this little tail thing, this is actually, I found this very cool. It's called a flagellum, and the flagellum helps the E. coli cells move by rotating so they can kind of like swim their way into host cells. So when we're looking at both cells together, when we're looking at the human cell and the E. coli cell, we can obviously tell there's a difference in shape. You know, the E. coli cell is rod shaped, the human cell is not gonna be like that. It's gonna be more circular in shape depending on what kind of cells we're looking at. In addition to this, the E. coli cell doesn't have important structures like the human cell does, such as like mitochondria, endoplasmic reticulums, and then another difference that we can also talk about can be that there's like multiple walls protecting this. While this one, just the human cell only has the one cell wall, but then the E. coli has its cell wall, it has the plasma membrane compared to the human cell. E. coli cells can easily get into human cells by using their pila to adhere to receptors on human cells. There are different ways that they get into human cells. It's not like you can be walking down the street and get E. coli. So E. coli can enter the body through contaminated food, water, or even person to person. When I say person to person, I mean if someone doesn't have good personal hygiene, like washing their hands. And then you can also get E. coli by touching infected animals. And then there were multiple ways that I saw E. coli is mainly treated. It looked like though